In Return of the Jedi, we see Princess Leia triumphantly kill Jabba the Hutt, who was holding her hostage. But today we're going to be looking at an alternative timeline, one where Jabba the Hutt killed Princess Leia. How would that have affected the galaxy? And what would have been different? First off, we'll look at how exactly Leia ended up being a slave to Jabba. She had gone to the Hutt's palace on Tatooine to rescue Han Solo, who had been trapped in carbonite 3 years prior to the events of Return of the Jedi.
Artu, look! Captain Solo, and he's still frozen in carbonite.
She disguised herself as the bounty hunter Boushh and brought a captured Chewbacca to Jabba. Her cover story managed to get them through the door and in front of Jabba the Hutt himself. While the menagerie of aliens, scum and monsters all slept, Leia released Han from the carbonite, only to be captured as they made their escape. She remained chained to Jabba's side right up until she choked him to death on his sail barge as the rebels made their victorious escape. But how would things have changed if Jabba had killed Leia first? Well, first off, we think that the rebels had possibly planned for this very situation. It was a risk that they were aware of, and everyone knew that walking through the gates of Jabba's palace could be a death sentence in itself. So we think Leia going herself on the rescue mission was a calculated risk. Now, we believe that nothing much would change in the immediate aftermath of Leia's death. The other captors would still be taken to the Sarlacc pit, and Jabba would still end up perishing in the sail barge explosion as the rebels fought back. Justice would have been swift for the crime lord. We think that Leia would have been used as a figurehead and a martyr of the rebellion. People would have seen that one of their leaders made a noble sacrifice in the name of saving her friends and her rebellion, and they would have been inspired to fight in her memory. The Battle of Endor would still have happened as it did in the movie, and the outcome would still be the same. Most people affected, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Chewie, would have fought even harder in her memory to be able to achieve the freedom that she could not. Leia's death would have solidified the rebellion and brought everyone together in grief. While it was Jabba that killed her, the anger could have been directed towards the Empire. With that being said, there is a worst-case scenario. The rebellion would have disintegrated without Leia, their fearless figurehead and leader, there to lead them. Sure, there were other leaders such as Mon Mothma and Admiral Akbar, but it was Leia that united people and brought them together. She wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty, and the rank-and-file troops of the rebellion respected her greatly for that. Still, we think that the most likely scenario is that Leia's death would fuse the rebellion together even more, at a critical moment in the course of galactic history.
I didn't know they were looking for somebody to lead this crazy attack.
I'm surprised they didn't ask you to do it.
Well, who says they didn't, but I ain't crazy.
Going forward, though, things would have started to verge away from the established path that we're familiar with. Princess Leia would never have been able to marry Han Solo. The pair would not have started a life together, nor would they have conceived a child, Ben Solo. Now, if Ben was never born, Luke Skywalker would never have taken him and started to train him in the ways of the Jedi. Ben would never have attacked Luke and the fledgling Jedi Academy, and Luke could have continued training and growing the next generation of Jedi. A new Jedi Order would have risen, and they would have watched over the galaxy, protecting its inhabitants from the dark.
I will never train another generation of Jedi.
Similarly, without Ben Solo, he could not have been groomed by Snoke, or rather, the reanimated corpse of Darth Sidious, to be turned to the dark side and become Kylo Ren. The leadership of the First Order would have greatly suffered without Kylo's intensity and anger. He may have been unpredictable, but this certainly motivated the ranks of the First Order to do the best that they could. Without such a structured and unhinged leadership, the First Order may well have floundered and snuffed itself out. And even if not, the new Jedi Order would have been able to step in and try to save the day. Leia's death would have led to a drastically different version of the sequel trilogy.
Tell us that we have a plan, that there's hope.
But then, if we explore the possibility that the First Order still arose to great power and gained a huge footing in the galaxy, we think that there would have been no formal resistance to fight against it. People of the galaxy formed the resistance under General Leia's leadership. She formed that second rebellion to once again stand up to evil, and without her there, those small pockets of resistance would never have banded together to fight the First Order.
Permission to jump in her next wing and blow something up?
Permission granted.
Overall, though, the state of the galaxy would have been undeniably different without Leia. Strangely enough, Leia's death at the hands of Jabba the Hutt would not only have helped contribute to the fall of the Empire, but may very well have contributed to a drastically weaker First Order. In many ways, Leia's death would have been a terrible thing for the galaxy, but it would also have had a positive side too. In fact, as Obi-Wan Kenobi said, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on your own point of view.
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
So, what is your point of view? Would Leia being killed by Jabba the Hutt be a good thing or not? Be sure to answer with good or bad in the comments section down below. Leave a reason too, it's always fun to read your theories. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a subscribe to never miss an upload. And as always, may the Force be with you.